The kind of people that I would be looking to nominate to the court would be in the great tradition of standing up to the powerful, standing up on behalf of our rights as Americans.
They will interpret the Constitution the way the founders wanted it interpreted.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump with diverging philosophies for the future of the Supreme Court. Welcome to your Tuesday lunch break. I'm Tanya Rivero. Whoever wins this month will likely appoint a justice who will break the gridlock resulting from Justice Scalia's death earlier this year. So what's at stake? Joining us now to discuss is Wall Street Journal reporter Brent Kendall from our Washington bureau. Hi, Brent. Great to see you. So both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's comments more or less run along party lines. But is what makes this a little more urgent this year is the empty seat on the court?
Well, that's certainly one of the things. I mean, it's been a remarkable year on so many levels in this presidential battle, and Justice Scalia's death has been one of them. And you know, it's a highly unusual situation for the court to have had a vacant seat this long, and President Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland hasn't gotten a hearing. You know, and it's not clear that he's going to get one, and we'll see what happens, you know, when the next president comes in. But yeah, so we have this very important seat that's vacant, which basically we've had the court for a long time now that had a slight conservative majority, and now we're basically split 4-4 between conservatives and liberals. But even beyond that, I mean, whoever wins this next election, I mean, it could have, I mean, the Supreme Court could be one of the most long-lasting effects of who wins. I mean, in addition to this open seat, you know, there are several other justices in advanced age, and so, I mean, most legal observers believe the next president will have the opportunity to appoint multiple people, you know, and these are lifetime appointments. So, you know, if you put one or two people on there, I mean, either side has the potential to steer the court,
it's very,
you know, in a pretty firm either liberal or conservative direction for a long period of time.
Absolutely. It's very significant. Let's go through some of the issues, some of the specific issues that both candidates have touched on. I mean, Clinton has identified Second Amendment rights and political spending limits as issues she would want a court nominee to tackle, whereas Trump has promised pro-life nominees. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, he's made appointing pro-life justices a big part of his campaign. You know, he had been worried, you know, earlier in the race about shoring up support from sort of, you know, solid social conservatives for whom abortion and members of the Supreme Court are a big issue. So he has tried to firm up his support there by making clear that he would appoint people who would oppose Roe v. Wade.
Would one more conservative justice be enough to tilt Roe v. Wade?
You know, it's hard to say at this point. No, because if Donald Trump wins and appoints somebody to replace Justice Scalia, Justice Scalia was one of the more conservative members of the court, so it would basically be a status quo sort of thing. I mean, from the conservative side, if you really wanted to take on Roe, you'd need a second vacancy either from a liberal member of the court or from Justice Anthony Kennedy, who's been, in so many cases, the swing vote, and even as recently as last term, sided with the court's liberal members in preserving abortion rights. So that would be a longer-term project on the Republican side.
What are some of the more immediate issues that could be affected?
Well, you know, both candidates have talked about issues on gun rights. I mean, there was a major Supreme Court decision several years ago that recognized an individual right to have a gun in your home for self-defense. There's still, you know, a bunch of different kinds of gun regulations out there, both on the state and local level. The Supreme Court has ducked a lot of those cases. I mean, you know, depending on which way the court shifts, you could see the court moving in one direction or the other. You know, after Justice Scalia died, we've already had some cases where we didn't have firm resolution, including on President Obama's immigration policies last term. You know, we have a case the court just granted to hear, which it'll hear later in this term, involving transgender students and which bathroom they can use. So, I mean, there are still these hot button issues out there, and when you have a court that's split 4-4 on some of these until you have a ninth member,
right,
it's hard to envision them being resolved one way or the other.
No doubt a significant appointment. Brent, Kendall, thank you so much for that.
Thanks.